Alright guys, so we're going to be talking about the mid-season 3 update for Warzone, a bunch of the major changes that we're going to be seeing within the Warzone game mode in a couple of weeks in the middle of season 3. A bunch of stuff will be added to Modern Warfare. We talked about a bunch of the new multiplayer features, but now let's go specific on Warzone. We're going to be talking about new camos, new weapons, new game modes, a whole map change, a lot of interesting stuff that will be happening to Warzone very soon. Before we start, very quickly, I made a video 2 days ago talking about MW2 Multiplayer Remastered and a bunch of new leaked information on some release dates and when we could be seeing this game come very soon. If you want to check that video out, it's linked down below in the description, but we hit our 500 like goal on that video. We're at 531 likes, so honestly, I didn't think that would happen. The support has been crazy. We just hit 50k, so seriously, thank you guys so much for all of this here. I mean, if we can go for 500 likes on this video, that'd be insane as well. Not a big deal, but it would be cool to see. So let's get started here with Warzone. I want to start off with the main thing that we could be seeing with the mid-season 3 update, the major change that we're finally going to get to the Warzone map. Stuff you see within Fortnite, obviously with their events, also a little bit with Blackout as well. They tested this. It's about the dam within Warzone. So if you guys haven't heard about this or saw the newest loading screen for Modern Warfare, this loading screen, as you see up on screen, is showing the dam within Warzone with a bunch of water actually flowing out of it into the reservoir there and then back into the canal that goes through the rest of the Warzone map. That's in the loading screen, but if you take a look at Warzone right now, if you hop into a game of Warzone right now, it's still all frozen over. Just like the beginning of Warzone when it released over a month ago, it's still frozen over. There's no flowing water anywhere. There's no visible cracks within the dam, and everything is pretty much frozen. And then the canal throughout Warzone, there's a little bit of water maybe, but there's nothing really there that shows any signs of flooding or the dam cracking. This loading screen is directly teasing that something is going to happen. This dam event is going to happen very soon. If you guys remember, something like this happened within Blackout almost exactly a year ago. Operation Spectre Rising, as you see up on screen from the trailer, had the same sort of dam event. You see it pretty much floods the entire map, the dam is destroyed, and it impacts a pretty large portion of the map within Blackout. One of the first major changes you saw to the Blackout map, besides for sort of the seasonal changes that you may have saw within the game. This was a pretty big deal, and it looks like they're going to be doing the same thing here, but how is it going to affect Modern Warfare? Is it going to be the same thing they did with Blackout? A bunch of the gameplay you're seeing here are people going through the new Blackout map after the dam was destroyed, and large portions of the town, pretty much directly below the dam and along the river, are flooded, and it changes the whole dynamic of the map. A lot of those buildings are flooded as well. There's a lot of swimming mechanics in here. I think the big question with this is that this is what Treyarch did with their sort of dam update, flooding the Blackout map, making these different portions flooded. You have to swim through to get your loot, and it's not that big of a deal, but it did change the map pretty significantly. But now the question is, will Warzone do this same thing to the map? Will they have the dam destroyed and then flood certain portions of the map and add new swimming mechanics as a normal part of Warzone? I'm not so sure if that's going to happen, but you have to think, well, there's going to be a dam event within Warzone. That's pretty obvious, but like, what are they going to do? I think the only obvious one would be to flood the map to some extent. Within the loading screen, it shows water flowing out of it, so maybe they're just going to fill up the canal with water, and that's sort of the extent of that event, which, you know, it would turn out to be a fairly boring event because filling up the canal with water isn't that big of a deal. It'll add some sort of new element, but it's not really going to change the map. So we know right now the loading screen within Modern Warfare is teasing the dam event. It's teasing that there's going to be a lot of water here flowing out of the dam, slowly cracking, potentially destroying the dam like we saw within Blackout. So this mid-season 3 update is going to be a good point to see what they start doing, and maybe it's going to be a reoccurring event. So the first event is just the water flowing out, and the second event, more and more significant stuff actually happens, and it really starts to change the actual outlook of this map here. So we'll see very soon. So some more stuff coming to Warzone in the mid-season 3 update. Let's switch over here to a bunch of the different game modes that we talked about. We have Realism Battle Royale and a Hardcore Battle Royale. So you guys know about the Realism game mode and the Hardcore game mode within multiplayer. Obviously, you're going to have that same sort of element within Battle Royale. This isn't too big of a deal. These will be added reoccurringly. Obviously, they add one in, they take one out, they add another one in. These are like the limited time playlists. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it here, but it is cool to change things up and see how Realism, especially Battle Royale, would work, because it's Realism. You're going to die very quickly. Will it promote a lot of camping? I feel like it might, but who knows? Maybe it'll play very well within the game. Some more game modes here: one-shot Battle Royale and duo. So one-shot Battle Royale, if you guys don't know, it's one-shot headshots, no drop kits included. That's going to be very interesting. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be snipers only, but one-shot headshots, it's going to be cool to see how that actually plays out. But duos, that's definitely something a lot of people are looking forward to. Solos was added. Does it play as well as trios? Not really. Quads was also added. Does it play as well as trios? Not really. Trios is a pretty dominant game mode or playlist within Warzone. So duos, I mean, obviously duos is a classic. Duos is something we see within all Battle Royales, and we'll see maybe duos will really rival trios as a solid playlist, and they'll actually keep it in there as a permanent thing. Quads, I just don't see that permanent. It just doesn't seem like it works well with Warzone. It's not bad, but it seems like trios is the dominant one right now, and duos might rival that. So we'll just have to see, but that's obviously going to be within this season 3, this mid-season 3 update coming very soon. We also have a very good chance of seeing a bunch of items added to Warzone within the mid-season 3 update. So one item here is the redeploy token. If you guys don't know what this is, pretty much you find it within different crates. It says here, legendary crates stand the best chance of spawning a redeploy token, so prioritize those. You're looking for a gold hexagonal token featuring a parachute with wings. It'll glow and hover above the ground, plus clearly be labeled as a redeploy token when you aim at it. So when you pick it up, by pressing the appropriate key button prompt, it'll be used automatically for the first time you die in a match. So pretty much you use the redeploy token and you'll avoid needing to actually fight within Gulag, and you'll get deployed right back into the game. Now, this is actually something that's within training mode right now of Warzone. It's a pretty solid thing. I mean, Warzone already gives you so many opportunities to get back into the game, but the redeploy token would be very sick. If you're only getting it in legendary crates, it's not going to be a common thing, and obviously it's fun. It's good because it's a guaranteed chance that you get back into the game. The Gulag, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Some of the best players that play Warzone, that stream Warzone every day, get destroyed in the Gulag because you never know what's going to happen in the Gulag. So having that redeploy token, it's rare. You'd be very lucky if you got it, but it gives you a 100% chance of actually getting back into the game without even having to fight in the Gulag. So that would be very cool to see. Mid-season 3 update would be a good time for that. There's also another thing here. There's self-revive tokens within Plunger. I'm not trying to, mash all of these game modes together within Warzone and say, oh, these should all be within the main thing. Obviously, there's a certain level they want to balance Warzone. You just can't add all of these different features and items within the main game, but right now, there aren't that many items within the game, and we haven't really seen a switch up of the items, and it would be cool to see next up a little change or addition of some new items within the game that changes things up, and they have these items within the other playlists within Warzone, training mode, plunder, etc. So it would be cool to see them dropped into the normal standard Warzone playlist very soon. The next big thing here for the mid-season 3 update, this pertains to multiplayer as well, but it's also with Warzone. It's the Mastery Camo and the Gunsmith Customs, because this is a pretty big deal with Warzone. Everything you do, obviously, within multiplayer translates over to Warzone, so you grinding your specific weapons to get to the Mastery Camo is something you could specifically do within Warzone and show that camo off within Warzone. So it's gonna be cool to see what that camo looks like, how difficult it's going to be to actually get, and how many people are actually going to be going for this new Mastery Camo. The Gunsmith Customs probably probably a bit more significant with Warzone, because that's really going to change the different types of weapons and creations that you see people use within Warzone. Bringing your different weapon blueprints together is going to be very cool, and it could actually change and create new weapon metas within Warzone. So once that update comes, and they've confirmed, obviously, just to show you guys up on screen, someone asked Joe Seacott and Art Peasant, which is Joel, I'm just wondering when we'll learn more about the new mastery, camo, and weapon mastery challenges. And then Joe Seacott responds, it should be in the mid-season update. It will require gold to be unlocked for the weapon before it will progress. It will take a long time. And they said the same thing here about the gunsmith customs, the Frankensmithing as they're calling it, and all of that different stuff will be within this mid-season 3 update. And along with this mid-season 3 update, we will see the new weapon as well. That's part of the battle pass. Multiplayer obviously will get that, but Warzone as well, the new LMG type weapon, that's going to be cool to see how that weapon is going to be added to the game. Will it affect Warzone in any way? Sometimes these new battle pass weapons are pretty solid. Like the 5.56 is a solid weapon, probably one of the best weapons you see within Warzone right now. So could this new Season 3 weapon be a solid change and one of the new dominant weapons within Warzone? We're going to have to wait and see. So thank you guys for watching. These are a bunch of the major changes and minor changes that we will see within the mid-Season 3 update for Warzone. Obviously, the stuff that aren't set in stone, like the dam update and different stuff like that, where we don't know exactly what the outcome of that event is. It's something we've never seen before within Warzone. We'll have to see what exactly happens with that. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment below Warzone if you watched the whole video. It's greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys later.